Show you how I do some of my cooking in my Pressure Cooker Pro, because it's such a shame that some of you aren't using it. So there's my Pressure Cooker Pro bowl. All I've done is put down my 5% fat meat, and there's my Pressure Cooker Pro. So all I'm going to do is push that button, then up here for stew, and I'm going to leave it at that 30 minutes, and then literally put my pot on and let it brown. I'm going to pause the video, get back to you. Use your spoon to give it a stir every now and then so it doesn't stick to the bottom, so you're getting your mince nice and brown. I might throw some spices in next. I'm using smoked paprika and chilli powder because I'm making chili nachos. Throw it into your taste and give it a good old stir. You'll see it's still just saying 30 on the front. It's now looking like this. It's nice and brown. Again, it's still saying 30. Now I'm going to be adding my onions, my peppers, peeling and crushing or grinding down my garlic, and then I'm going to be adding some passata. So I've added chilli flakes because I can't find any chilies. I've added some tomatoes that I had opened from breakfast. I've put my garlic in, I've put my passata in, my onions, and my peppers for my speed. So I've got that all in there. So this is what it looks like. Now from that liquid it's going to make the steam. So all I'm going to do now is pop the lid on and then show you again. Now I've popped the lid on. As you can see, it still says 30 and my pressure is still in there, so I'm just going to bring that down. It drops slightly, and you know what, we're just going to then leave it. So what's going to happen is that's going to keep going like that until it starts counting down. The pressure will build up in the pressure cooker, the little pressure gauge thing will drop down, and you won't have steam coming out the top because it'll be pressurised. I'll come back to you when it started counting down. It's still not pressurised up, but can you hear it? That's it, building up the steam inside. Nothing coming out the top. Still 30, but as you can see, it's starting to blow steam out of there. Now that will just suddenly pop up and stop the steam coming out of it, but you're not going to get burnt. Look, nothing else coming out of this. Let's see if we can catch it popping up. There you go, and that's it. Now it's sealed. No steam is coming out whatsoever, and that means this 30 minutes will now start counting down. I'll be back to you when it's counting down more. There you go, started counting down. No hissing, no steaming, nothing to get burnt from, nothing to worry you whatsoever. I'm going to let that get right the way down to 0. In the meantime, I've started cutting up wedges for my wedges that are going to go with my chili nacho. Could be done with rice, but I like it with the wedges. So what I'm going to do is cut them up, wash them, cut them up, fry them in my bowl, fry light them in there because I know the old Actifry didn't like having fry light put in it. However, I'm just coating them this way because it means you can get them well coated, and then fry them in my Actifry. But I'm not going to start them yet because I don't actually want to eat yet, and the wedges will take less time. Here's some of the wedges I've already coated with the fry light. Throw them in my my fryer, air fryer. You could put on, I don't know, any herbs, spices, granny salt, pepper, anything you wanted to, but I'm not going to because I've got a spicy mince. See, still counting down. No big hiss, no mess, nothing. Just cooking like a slow cooker, but a lot quicker. 19 minutes. So for some reason when I was looking at it and touching it, I caught the button that sent it back to 0. But that's fine because I can always reset it again, but because the pressure's been built up, it needs to build up. So I'm going to show you. Normally, if I've got time, I would just let the pressure build itself down. When it gets to 0, it would stop, leave it to it. Eventually the steam will pressure down, and you'll be able to unturn the lid. As you can see, all the time there's pressure in there, you cannot undo that lid to burn yourself. The only thing you can do is touch this, which releases it. Pop it back down, it stops. So what I always do, just so I don't get a mark up on the ceiling, is cover that with a tea towel, press that, and walk away. Once it stops making all that noise, it'll let you take the lid off, but it won't let you take the lid off before. There's no reason to get burnt. I know some people are really scared of all this steam. Just cover it up, walk away, leave it. Can you hear it's really, really running down now? And at any time, you just do that to stop it again. As you can see, it's nearly stopped now. As soon as it stops, I can twist the lid and show you what this looks like. Here we go. So it's let me turn the lid, and there we go, absolutely bubbling away is my chili nachos. Give that a good old stir. If you can see through the steam, it's all done. And you know what, if you go and look at electric pressure cookers on YouTube, doesn't have to be the Pressure Cooker Pro, but any electric pressure cooker, it will show you loads and loads of different meals you can do, including things like spaghetti bolognese, where you can throw in the pasta and cook it as well. Now, I want mine to be just a little bit thicker than this, so bear with me. All I've done is I've restarted it. So you push it down here. I think I've caught right, okay, so I can cancel it. So back onto my stew. Going to move it down to just a few minutes. Again, without the lid on it, it's going to just boil like it did with the mince. So if I leave it like that, yeah, it will start boiling. Might splatter up the tile a little bit too, because I don't know how to stop that, but it'd be like making it thicker. So I'm just going to leave it to do that for a minute or two. Can you see? It's just boiling away now. Just going to thicken it up a little bit because I want mine thicker. If it was bolognese I wouldn't, but where it's going to be with the chili nachos, I just want it a little bit thicker. So my timer set for 30 minutes, but actually because I knocked the delay timer, it meant that it only had about 15 minutes. And yeah, at the moment it's still doing the boiling down, but it's not going to need much more because look. So I can either set it down to 0 now to keep it warm. I could put the lid back on it if I did want to cook it a little bit more, but the fact it's mince, I don't think it needed it. It's not like it's solid meat. But also, if you look down on your Pressure Cooker Pro down here, you'll keep warm, slow cook. So do you know what? I think that's what I might do. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to put it on keep warm, slow cook. Just pop my lid on again. I hope this helped. It also means that when I am ready to eat, it'll be nice and hot. All I'm going to do is whack my air fryer on for probably about 18 to 20 minutes with my big wedges, and then I'm going to add my healthy extra of Premier Light cheese, which I'm going to check the measurements, weigh and measure it, and then I might just pop it under my grill, in my microwave or in my oven, just to get the cheese all bubbly and melted, but I will show you a picture later. Enjoy your Pressure Cooker Pro.